and they need to get their shit together. And this is a grown man talking to a 16-year-old girl because he waited 10 minutes over his quote time and his family's hungry. Are you kidding me? Yo guys, welcome back to another Everything Bar and Service. My name is Braden, and today I'm going to be telling you guys what it's like to manage and operate a very busy restaurant during these very insane times. Check it out. I have noticed a change in people. And when I say that, I mean it as in their whole demeanor when it comes to things, small things. So the usual people that complain and bitch, like the Karens of the world, are now doing it more. People that typically usually wouldn't complain are complaining more. Guests are complaining a lot more about much smaller, minute issues in a time where you'd feel like people would be more reasonable, way more reasonable. So I do understand that there is so much going on in the world right now. You know, we're going through a global pandemic still. We're coming out of that slowly right now. There are, oh my gosh, there's a depression going on now. People's businesses are literally going under, and if they're not going under, some of them are being forcefully destroyed. We have the George Floyd protests going on, the protests that have recently turned violent and turning into riots and looting, and people's businesses are being destroyed. Everyone, the whole world is watching all these terrible things go on. Everyone's been isolated for months. A lot of people have been isolated for way too long than they should have. Now I say that as in mental capacity of talking to people and being a reasonable person, I think is literally just changed. It's shifted. It really has. People are watching this stuff so much on their phones, on the news, on the computers. People are talking about it constantly, and it's very hard to get away from. Intakes all this information constantly. You have these news articles that are blowing everything out of proportion. You have the left side and the right side, and they're going after each other, and then they're making each other fight even more, and it's just this whole ordeal that is just, you cannot get away from it. And for some people, mentally, they just can't handle it, and they are just constantly on edge because they're angry about, you know, anything that is going on. This has all happened very fast for everyone, and I understand why people are on edge. But here's the problem. When you are on edge, you cannot take it out on other people for no reason. It just makes everything worse, because now that person is going to be in a bad mood or agitated because you took it out on them. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing, and it snowballs effect. And who knows how far it can go. Of negative energy can go a very far way if you let it. I think that is the reason why people are acting the way they are right now. I understand why you're on edge. I really do. I get it. It's been a long couple months for everybody. But you can't take it out on the 19-year-old server, okay? You cannot take this shit out on the restaurant staff when you go out to eat with your family. You have to stop. You have to realize, yes, we make mistakes. Yes, as a manager, I'd love to go talk to you and make it right. But once I do that, and once I go out there and actively say I'm sorry and legitimately say I'm sorry, and I fix the problem, and you still treat that server like a piece of trash continually throughout the rest of the time you're there, and then stiff them, the way that most restaurants works, that server just paid part of your food because they have to tip out other people, which means you left them a zero on a $100 tab. They're paying basically like $4 to have a terrible time with you, be stressed out the whole time. Sometimes you're so mean you make them cry, and then they have to pay up money for your table. Now tell me how that's fair. You cannot take your frustrations out on hostesses, okay? I have 16-year-olds, 17-year-old, 18-year-olds. It doesn't matter. I've even had 15-year-olds in there hosting before. And I have seen grown men physically scream in a minor 16-year-old's face till she cries and tells them they're basically fucking stupid and they need to get their shit together. And this is a grown man talking to a 16-year-old girl because he waited 10 minutes over his quote time and his family's hungry. Are you kidding me? You need to get your life together to where you can control your actions and not yell at minors, first of all. Second of all, you shouldn't be treating anybody like that. If you are, you need to take a step back and look at your own life and your own priorities before you're yelling at somebody over a 10-minute time period of a quote time. Yeah, I get it. You waited longer than they said, but it's not a perfect science. The hosts don't know exactly when everybody in the restaurant's gonna stand up. What if someone stays 10 minutes later than they originally expected? Then you wait longer. We're not gonna kick people out. It's just the way it goes sometimes. We're a busy place and you're bringing your family out on a busy night. Get over it. And we also have the typical complaints. Oh, well, the bartenders, I was waiting at the bar and they served someone else before me. They served someone else before me. Please, get over it and grow up. Like, yeah, they've been busy. They have so many faces in front of them at once. And you're sitting here complaining to a manager because one group cut in front of you because you weren't pushed up to the bar. You should have said something to them, not the bartender. The bartender has got so much other stuff going on. He can't see every little thing that happens on the other side of the bar. Well, he served other people and then he was rude whenever I called him out on his crap. And I was like, well, first of all, who are you to call anyone out whenever they're back there working their butts off to serve you alcohol during these crazy ass times, and you're gonna sit here and make him feel like a piece of shit and then complain to a manager and try to get him in trouble? No, I'm not standing for it. All right, guys, so I need to wrap this up because I'm starting to rant and I really don't have the time to edit an hour worth of me talking out. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. So bottom line is, people are on edge, and everybody's on edge. They really are. So it's just this perfect storm to where if you're in a restaurant and something small happens, people are freaking out and want to talk to a manager, and then when they don't get their way, they completely flip their shit in their mind, you know, and completely act like trash. I'm sorry, like, that's just what's going on. And I'm just here to say that I understand why you were mad. I really do. But just think of the other people that are out here just as frustrated as you are and trying to make a living, and you're gonna sit here and complain about the smallest things in life. Look at the big picture. Look what's going around in this world. Just sometimes let things go. Please. Alright, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace!